Daft Scotsman Accies, where are you bloody taking me? A pleasant drive on a sunny day, and a short trip off a long mountain. This is us in the car park of Loch Awe Hotel, established 1881 and still in use today. It was built to accommodate the expanding railway line. The hotel features in the 1971 film To Catch a Spy, starring Kirk Douglas. From the early 70s, it was owned by the Christian Holiday Fellowship and until 1987 was a temperance hotel. That means the bar was closed down. No booze! It's currently owned by a coaching company. So this is the northern bank of Loch Awe, the third largest freshwater loch in Scotland and the longest freshwater one, measuring 25 miles. For hundreds of years, ships sailed this loch. It's also given its name to a village on its banks, including St Conan's Kirk Chapel, which we'll see in a minute. There are islands within the loch, such as Channel and Innisshale, Elder Argyll clan and MacArthur's owned land, all around here, close to those of the MacGregors, Campbells and Stewarts. Below you see a camping coach, a cam and camping linking it to the Campbells, presumably the clan's duties being responsible for the Airbnb listing with which they helped assure their dominance. The village Loch Awe is all one word, while in Loch Awe railway station two words. ScotRail's Oban branch of the West Highland line. 6 departures in each direction on weekdays and Saturdays, eastbound to Glasgow Queen Street and westbound to Oban. On the loch are two hydroelectric facilities. A fish pass at one of these exists to allow the passage of spawning salmon into Loch Awe and beyond. It's not entirely successful, with diminishing numbers over the decades. But if you've got a permit, you can still fish here. Loch Awe homes pike, perch, char, and is most known for trout, rainbow trout, brown trout. It holds the British record for largest brown trout caught on a rod. £3, 2 ounces. This is Kilchurn Castle, visible up close by a boat trip or half a mile's walk from its car park. Kilchurn Castle was key to the Campbells of Glenorchy establishing their strength in the area. They built it in the mid 1400s. It became a garrison stronghold in 1689, the first Jacobite uprising, but it was abandoned about 80 years later after a lightning strike forked it up. It's got a courtyard, private chambers, a cellar, a jail for annoying Scotsmen. It's now run by Historic Environment Scotland and is open to the public in summer. Higher than usual water levels around it mean that it's sometimes a temporary island. Wikipedia says a camping coach was also positioned here by the Scottish Region from 1952 to 1958, and two coaches were here in 1959 and 1960, known as the Carriage at Loch Awe. Bit unimaginative. It's owned by the same tour company who own the hotel, but is offered on Airbnb. It has two bedrooms with a double bed and a bunk bed, has a TV, Wi-Fi, lots of blankets and hot water bottles. Typical caravan prices. That is a bit costly for what you're getting. Pets are not allowed. Please note the underground pipes can freeze in the depths of winter. The loch is very deep and very dangerous. Please do not swim from the jetty. It is not safe. A 4-minute drive, Conan's Kirk Chapel. Roadside, Loch Awe War Memorial. Here we've got the bell tower with bells, which, because of needed repairs to the floor, haven't rung in a while. The building's cold in the winter, but up there's the glass box, which they've managed to heat for community events such as knitting and bridge clubs. Conan's was built 1881 to 86 and expanded upon 1906 to 1914, designed by Walter Douglas Campbell. This is a memorial to his auntie, Caroline Agnes Dick Campbell of Blyth's Wood.
Caroline Agnes Campbell of Blyth's Wood. He pray well who loveth well both man and bird and beast. He prayeth best who loveth best a thing, bon, great and small. For the dear God who loves us all, he made and love us all. Hey! 1897.
Going in, we catch glimpse of the chancel and stalls in the chancel, 12 distinctly carved griffins dedicated to 12 clans, possibly sent in by them. Also coats of arms and crests and badges of their chiefs. St. Conan's is a Category A listed building made of local stone and one of Aki's favourite historical sites. The website stconanskirk.org.uk really lacks in good overviews, although succeeds detailing various windows and sculptings more than's possible here. St. Conan's has 3 chapels within. The St. Bride's Chapel with an effigy to its architect Walter Campbell, the St. Conville's Chapel dedicated to his brother, the 4th Lord Blythswood, and the Bruce Chapel, which we see nowish. I've never heard of this guy myself, and utter nonsense having 2 first names like that. He gets an effigy too, carved wood and alabaster. This was entered into an architects' competition in 1896. It didn't win. It didn't reach St. Conan's until 1920, with the lion at his feet snuggling up there in 1923. There's a small casket beneath the effigy, said to contain Robert the Bruce's bone. This appalling camera work by the Bruce Chapel is in St. Fillan's Aisle, named after the local saint of Strathfillan. I don't so much care about the historic windows, but for the view outside them. On a good day, you can see Glenorchy or Glenstray. There's light enough to see a gorgeous view of Loch Awe outside. We'll get there. We're looking out from the apse and ambulatory, which is a semicircular recess in a church to walk and think. Usually they're at the east end with an arched or domed roof. This is a tribute to the famous Scottish confectionery Toblerone. To be fair, they're nice windows. The tables and chairs are all locally sourced, but you'd have to get your submissions in before 1930 to be part of the exhibition. The chairs have stylized motifs of dolphins. It's possible Walter Campbell, the architect, acquired them separately and fitted them on. The infographics don't make good museum. Small print, too much print, and too close together. St. Conan's make a large point of wanting money, and there's plenty of evidence they needed for the purpose of the site, which was voted by architects as one of the top 10 buildings in Scotland of the last 100 years. Just inside the bell tower, the penitent window, humbled by Christ with Scottish thistles, a temporary facsimile window following storm damage. And the nave and pulpit and pews with regulation padding for micro buttocks atop uncomfortable hardwood logs. The Phantom of the Opera is here, inside your mind. Sorry, once more with respect. An elaborate organ screen by Walter the architect symbolizes stages of spiritual development from pagan to early Christian. Pagan creatures up through Celtic ribbons to heavenly creatures, lion, calf, man, and eagle. Lion, calf, man, and eagle. And the Rose Window by Walter the architect's sister, Helen Douglas Campbell, restored with donations from the community, features 71 cherubs, much more realistic than those pagan creatures. On the archway, pelicans, allegedly symbols of self-sacrifice, and a sculpture to the Wings of Time. The Wings of Time sounds like a Hawkwind song or a Terry Pratchett book. Conan was an Irish missionary bishop with a feast day on 13th of January, 3 days before this visit. You might still see Kilchurn Castle. The sundial is dedicated to the woman whose memorial you saw out front, Caroline Agnes Dick Campbell of Blythswood. Inscribed cool quote from Song of Solomon, the day dawns and the shadows flee away. Outside there's sculptures of hounds and hares, St. Conan himself lurking behind one wall. And from Isaiah, thy sun shall no more go down. It's a lovely spot, yes. It's okay, Andy. I won't leave you behind at a place I cherish. It would bring the economic value down. Where's a coffee shop? You told me this place sells hot dogs made from long American sausages. Maybe they're back there. I can't smell anything. Aye, that's 'cause you're a smoker.
I wonder what's behind that curtain.
There's the other chapels, St. Conville's and St. Bride's. Camera raised out of respect for other tourists. The cloister is probably my second favourite spot here. I appreciate a place that's both inside and out. Smoke a pipe, have a craft fair, throw hoops on the lion.
Right.
The year is 2026. The name of the place, Glencoe Ski Resort.
Smoke, coffee, mountains.
This is more my pace. A chubby robin redbreast came up to see me while I hung around. Remarkable spot. Wish I'd taken more footage. Instead, I just get this dodgy hanging out of the side of a car, shooting everywhere but the beautiful mountain in front. This is the viewpoint car park for the Three Sisters of Glencoe, Short Ridge, Black Ridge and Long Mountain. They're part of a range called Bidian Nam Bian, meaning peak of the mountain. Clan MacDonald used to hide livestock here from raiders or because they raided it. The car park is free, thank goodness, because incredible views. There's walking routes, easy ones, though one guide states it's not for beginners. The full route is 7.5 miles plus 4,790 feet of ascent. Takes 7 to 9 hours. You'd want food and water, decent boots, suitable clothing. There's a rough path around a wooded ravine, but also a river crossing. There have been deaths in recent times due to freak weather. Guides are available and shorter routes. Youthful hikers set off 5 to 10 minutes before shooting this, already a blur. Brrr, bitter Baltic air here.
The Three Sisters. Right, yet another Accies stop. I've no idea where this is. Out in the middle of nowhere. Mile multiplication. Great big lakes in the way down. Must be absolutely Baltics. Tours in. Looks like lagoons and shit. Just look at the range there.
Like and comment to help the poor algorithm. Please take a look at the titles of other video presentations on my channel and see if there's anything for you. A subscription is always welcome. Just tap that bell because it ain't St. Conan's.